What's up, everyone? What's up? Today is Wednesday, October the 19th, 2022, and we're going to jump right in with today's headlines. I see you, Kim Edmondson. Good morning to you. I see you, Robert Holman. Latrice Jones, what's up? Regina Shorts, what's up? Deborah Sneed, what's going on with you? I see you, Deborah Johnson. I see you, Lori Wallace. I think Misha came in here as well. Kenny Stanley's in the green room, but he's also in the chat as well. If you're coming in from YouTube or if you're coming in from Twitter, we are now on Twitter. If you just need to get our call thing, let me put up the, yes, thank you, Isaiah. We are now on Twitter. As y'all can see, that image changed from the one I put up Monday. The graphic artist said, we don't like that because I did it on my own. So they redid it for me. So it's at MIM with Gail. So welcome to everyone who is tuning in from Twitter. I see you, Camille Jones. I see you, Dr. Antoinette. Hey, y'all, Dr. Antoinette. I just saw just a little piece of it before we came on the air. But Dr. Antoinette's going to go meet Senator Ted Cruz in his bus. She's going to shake his hand and sign his bus on Saturday. Listen, Dr. Antoinette, you be safe out there, okay? If you decide to roll up and shake his hand and sign the bus, you be careful out there. I see you, Adrian, coming in from YouTube. Dr. Antoinette, let us know in the chat if you're really going or not, if you were just thinking about it. I see you, Jeff Payne. Good morning to you as well. All right, y'all, we have a lot to cover. And to all our audio listeners, good morning to you. I think you're all here between Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and now Twitter, and then all of our audio listeners. Yeah, we're going to be making some changes soon, but it's going to be good. They're all going to be good. I noticed, good morning, Jacqueline. I also noticed that Mike Nicholson posted yesterday that I'm cheating y'all out of an hour. We're not going an hour. Not to my knowledge. We're not going an hour. He said that all of you all voted for that. We're going to stick to the 30 to 40 minutes. I don't think we're going to an hour. Dr. Antoinette, good morning, Tracy Newman. Dr. Antoinette said, thinking I have questions for him. Girl, you need to go on over there and ask your questions. Go take the list. I can forward you the list if you don't have it of their commitment to America. You can prepare. You can ask the necessary questions. I think you should go for it and just sign this bus and put underneath your name, NewsInMotion. So anyway, we are going to be making some changes, but all great changes based upon our audience participation. We shared a couple of weeks ago as we're going into the new year. We won't make those changes till we're going into the new year, but we're still going to be right here on all these platforms and more. Yes, I met with the audio engineer on yesterday. Gina Winks, you all know her. So we have made some determinations to take it up, to step it up. We're going to take it up another notch. So we're really excited about that. Our audio listener platform will grow, and we will start testing it out on next Monday. So if you see us even change up anything here to make sure we're including that audience as well. So we're going for it. We're going for it. We talked about it. She looked at all the different platforms and numbers and so forth and so on. So we are indeed going for it. Latrice Jones said, I actually voted for 15 minutes and all the extra be reserved for the Patreon posse. I know you did. But you were the only one who only asked for 15 minutes. Girl, if I came on here 15 minutes, people would get me. You know that? Patricia Lyles, good morning to you. And good morning to you, Tracy Burrs. Good morning. I see you, Rosanna Bivens. Good morning to you. Y'all are rolling up in here this morning. Hey, if you are tuning in without clicking in, do me a favor. I know you don't want to be in here, but click in for at least 3 minutes. It's going to shift our algorithm. Also, if you haven't had an opportunity to throw up the thumbs up or the hearts, please take a moment and do that as well. All right, y'all, let's get to it. Internal Revenue Service. Yesterday, the IRS released the inflation tax brackets for next year. That's 2023. It appears to have raised the standard deduction and the income threshold. This means the changes may possibly increase your take-home pay in 2023. Y'all, this is dating back to 1985. This is the largest adjustment to deduction. So, hey, there's that. The standard deduction, the baseline amount of income that filers can collect tax free, will increase it, for individuals $13,850, and for married couples $27,700. So be looking for that. Learn more about that. There's a lot of news and press releases that are out there talking about it. The New York Times reports that those shifts will not affect the tax rates of Americans whose salaries have kept pace with inflation over the last year. But for many Americans, that has not been the case. Inflation adjusted weekly earnings declined nearly 4% from September last year to this September, the Labor Department reported this last week. Now, y'all, while tax rates remain the same, the income limits for each tax rate are different. And that means your top tax rate might have gone down. For example, if you were earning $90,000 a year in 2022, your top tax rate was 32%, but next year it will be right around 24%. So yeah, we got to get this going. All right, y'all. I saw this and I was like, okay, is this a joke? But it's not. I'm just say, where's Samuel L. Jackson when you need him? Y'all, there were snakes on a United airline. CNN is reporting. Good morning, MK Walker. CNN is reporting the airline passenger found a snake underfoot after arriving at Newark Liberty International Airport. Police and operations employees met the plane at its gate early Monday afternoon and removed, it was a garden snake, but still it's a snake. The port authorities of New York and New Jersey told CNN, it said nobody was injured. A passenger on board told News 12, the Bronx, a CNN affiliate, that passengers in business class started really like losing their cool and pulling up their feet while the flight was taxiing. United Airlines tells CNN that crew members requested help from the airport officials after being alerted by passengers to the snake. Yeah, this flight was United flight number 2038 from Tampa, according to the port authorities. I just want to know, what would y'all do? What would y'all do? People are good with taking their shoes off on the planes, especially long flights, to get real comfortable. And this was in business class. What would you do if all of a sudden a snake is like under your foot or crawling up your leg or coming from the airflow down to your lap? What would you do? What would you do? Would you lose it or what? Deborah said, oh no, snakes on the plane. Tracy Bird said, oh no, snakes on the plane. Kenny said, I'm tired of all these snakes on this plane. So Rosanna said she was screaming. I was like, I can't even do it. Can't even do it. All right, y'all. Netflix is trying to come through. They're like, we're not going out like that. Y'all, they have added, as they reported yesterday, 2.4 million subscribers as of their third quarter. But they're coming. They're coming. They promised to come for all these who are sharing their passwords. Y'all, the global crackdown will begin in a couple of months. Hello, 2023. They're coming for you in 2023. And by the way, the additional subscribers, although that sounds really good, they were mostly from outside the United States. Now, the shares jumped more than 14% after the bell on yesterday. And Netflix, they just couldn't stay. If y'all remember in the second quarter, they said they were going to increase by 1 million. So it looks good that they increased 2.4. So they doubled their number. Well, now they feeling themselves. So now they said, well, next quarter, we're going to do an additional 4.5 million subscribers. You're doing too much. Stick with your million. Just say you're going to do another million. Good morning, Virgie from YouTube. Just say you're going to stick with the million. But no, they went to 4.5 million. So if they don't hit that number, it's not going to look good. Y'all can't keep doing this. All right, y'all. I thought this was really interesting. Before we get, this is Wednesday from the White House. So we got a lot of White House news. But before we do that, we're going to get some quick scores from Kenny. But before we do that, I got to tell y'all this story. This story is an interesting story. I actually laughed at this story a little bit. Y'all, Uber Eats and Rides has added a new service in Toronto, Canada. Yep, it is in a partnership with Leafy, an online marijuana retailer. Cannabis can now be delivered to your front door. Yeah, uh-huh. Now, according to Leafly, they are the first to deliver marijuana from a third-party food ordering platform. Now, if y'all remember, there was a study conducted earlier this year. 80% of the delivery drivers admitted to eating customers' food. So here's my question this morning. Do you think that they will sample the marijuana that they're going to be dropping off at people's front doors? I just want to hear. I mean, this is news. This is news. When I read that, I said, this is going to be interesting. Will people get their delivery? How will they secure this delivery? And what is that going to look like? So it's slow. It's going to roll out in Toronto, Canada first. They're doing a test run to see what it's going to be like. Misha says they sure will. MK Walker said yes. Robert Holman said they're doing too much. Patricia Lau says packages everywhere. Tracy says it's sealed, but can the seal be broken? Can they be like, they didn't put a seal on this? Or is there a way to get around that? It's just going to be interesting. I thought that was a very, very interesting story. So, with that, before I get into, we got a lot of White House news, but I do want Kenny Stanley to join us real quick to tell us what's happening with scores. He'll probably give us about 60 seconds or maybe up to 3 minutes of information. Let me see what y'all saying. Regina Short says that delivery is going up in smoke. Jeffrey Allen James said they're going to arrive. Chi and Chong style smoke everywhere. Then they'll sample it. There it is. All right, come on in here, Kenny Stanley. Good morning to you.
Good morning. That story just knocked me out. That's it right there. Where'd my bud go? Where'd it go?
I read that and I said, okay, so y'all went from driving to food. Now you're going into, okay, all right.
Okay,
You're
right.
Mary Owens said, yes, a lot of people will be missing their orders. Mary Owens is coming in from LinkedIn. And Kim Edmondson said, literally. So, y'all, hey, that's something to just think about. That's news. It is news. It is a press release. I said, I got to grab this and talk about
Oh,
this.
man. Wow. Thank you for that one. That's my laugh for the day. That's a good one.
All right, take it away.
All right. Good morning, NewsInMotion family. Welcome to Game Over with me, Kenny Stanley. There was a couple of things that happened last night in sports, and we like to tip off of the NBA basketball season. We had a couple of games last night. Will the Golden State Warriors repeat as champions? Well, after last night, they're on a good track because they beat the Lakers last night, 123-109. Mike Nicholson, if you're in the room, I'm a Sixers fan, but if Golden State stays healthy, if they stay healthy, and Draymond Green can keep his head on his shoulders like he's supposed to, they will repeat. Also, my 76ers went and took on the Eastern Conference champions last night, and they got beat by Boston 126-117. In Major League Baseball, the National League Championship Series kicked off with the Phillies beating the San Diego Padres 2-0. The American League Championship Series will kick off tonight with the Yankees taking on the Astros after the Yankees wrapped up their series with Cleveland last night 5-1. Maybe next time, Cleveland. I mean, I was rooting for y'all, but it just didn't happen this time. In the NHL, National Hockey League, Columbus Blue Jackets got their first win last night as they beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-3. It was the Philadelphia Flyers over the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2. The New Jersey Devils beat the Ducks 4-2. The New York Islanders beat the Sharks 5-2. And the Kings beat the Predators last night 4-3. The NFL kicks off this weekend, tomorrow night on Prime TV, with the Saints playing the Cardinals. Hopefully this week the game won't be a sleeper because I done went to sleep early the past 2 Thursdays. Then on Sunday we got ATL. They'll be in Cincinnati. Detroit goes to my Cowboys. And Sunday night, will the Steelers make it 2 weeks in a row? We're going to see as they head to Miami and take on the Dolphins. In college football, The Buckeyes will be back in action at 12 noon on Saturday as Iowa comes to town. I'm sorry, Jones family, but Iowa will go down Saturday. Clemson hosts Syracuse. Ole Miss is at LSU. And Saturday night, Minnesota heads to Penn State. That's sports. Game over. Back to Gail with more news.
Hey, thank you for that wrap up, Kenny. Quick question. Do you think Ohio State going to pull it out for real?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not going to sleep. If it was in Iowa, it'd have been a different story because whenever we go to Iowa, it's always at night. And when they get to waving up at the hospital, it's over with. It's game over for Ohio State. So they're at home. It's homecoming. We're getting ready to wrap this one up.
All right.
It should be over by halftime.
Okay. All right. Y'all don't forget Kenny has his own show which has launched this month. It is at 4:30 Eastern time on Saturdays. You can catch it right here on all these platforms as well. Let's come out and support Kenny. His show runs about 10. There you go, Latrice. 15 minutes for Kenny. So check him out on Saturday at 4:30.
Thank you, everybody. I see y'all. Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, y'all. Yahoo reports there are yard signs in Pennsylvania with razor blades. What the what? What happened? There appear to be all Democratic signs. Someone looked out the window, saw some signs in the front yard, and this is happening in different households. They go out because they did not get permission to put them in there. They go to remove the signs, and they get sliced from the razor blade. So that is happening. Man, the races are it's getting tight, right? All right, y'all. Body cam video. And Deborah Johnson and I were talking about this yesterday. Body cam video show Florida police and citizens baffled during voter fraud arrests. Police body camera footage obtained by the Florida newspaper shows how the arrest of several residents for alleged voter fraud 2 months ago baffled both police and those who were being rounded up. There's a quote, "I've never seen these charges before in my entire life," said one of the officers on the scene. "Why would you all let me vote if I wasn't able to vote?" asked one of the perplexed suspects. In August, Governor Ron DeSantis announced the arrest of 20 people grossly overstating the impact of election fraud in the U.S. Digging more into this has a lot to do with felonies, those who had previous felonies. If y'all remember, there were some celebrities and others who helped them pay their fines so they could be able to vote. So we're still watching this unfold of everything that's happening. Yes, Kim Edmondson, razor blades on signs. And people are saying that was this Democrats who made this move, or were these Republicans who made this move? And we don't know. So maybe there's some Ring cameras out there that will be able to catch some of the people who were doing it. All right, y'all, it's time for Wednesday from the White House. This is where you get White House news. I have a lot of news, so I'll see how much I can get through this. First off, y'all, President Joe Biden will travel to Delaware State University on this Friday, October 21st. The president will travel and deliver remarks on the student debt relief. Additional details to follow. And when they send that to us, that means they don't have everything written out yet. So with that, let me give you some more of this news. These are all fact sheets and stuff from the White House. So this one, President Obama, why do I keep calling him President Obama? President Biden, to announce new actions to strengthen U.S. energy security, encourage production, and bring down costs. This is basically talking about that the president is committed, and his administration is committed to do everything in his power to respond to Putin's price hike at the pump, and he is delivering. He's going to release some barrels soon. The gas prices fell at the fastest rate over the decade this summer, but now you notice that the prices have gone back up per gallon since about September. And now they're looking at possibly across the U.S. $3.39. And they're trying to bring them back down. So that is out there. We're going to keep watching this unfold. It says the president is announcing that the administration intends to repurchase crude oil for the SPR when prices are at or below the 67 to 72 per barrel. So we're going to continue to watch this unfold. There's a lot here about how they're going to do it. I won't bore you with all of that. And if you ever want to get more of this information, it may not be as detailed as I received it, but you can find this information at whitehouse.gov or wh.gov. The second thing, this is a statement by President Joe Biden on new mental health funding. This was announced yesterday, funding to expand certified community behavioral health clinics, and it's a critical step in helping to expand availability of evidence-based community mental health services. They go on to say these clinics are proven to improve health outcomes while lowering costs by delivering 24/7 mental health and substance use care to millions of Americans. They go on to say no matter who they are, whether they have the ability to pay. That's amazing. And this is a bipartisan Safer Community Act, and the American Rescue Plan and funding this year's budget. He goes on to say, my administration is working to expand this program to communities that need them most. So kudos to that. And they said be expecting this in the coming weeks. So that's from the White House. Also from the White House, we have the Biden-Harris administration releases a strategy to strengthen health security and prepare for bio threats. Thought this was a very interesting one, and I want to just jump out with, this is 6 pages, so I won't go through all of this. But it talks about the bio defense strategy and implementation plan for countering biological threats. The president said there are no walls high enough or oceans wide enough to keep out bio threats and protect our communities. Yeah, I agree with you, Kim Edmondson. Kudos for mental health funding. The strategy reflects the Biden-Harris administration comprehensive plan to protect our nation from future pandemics and biological threats. They go on to say it's outlined a set of bold goals to transform the nation's biodefense and health security by launching a whole of government efforts across 20 federal agencies to detect, prevent, prepare for, and respond to and recover biological incidents in partnerships with the international, state, local, tribal, territorial, and private sector partners. Y'all, this goes into what they're going to do. And here's just a couple of them. Stopping outbreaks at their source through strengthening the global health security, meaning trying to stop it before it even gets over here when it's coming out from another area. I see you, Carolyn Maxwell. Strengthening laboratory biosafety and biosecurity, making sure no one can tamper with what's out there. Determining use and development of bioweapons. They talk about step by step of how they will prepare for pandemics and other biological incidents. They're talking about enabling testing within 12 hours, develop vaccines within 100 days, accelerate therapeutic development and validation to repurpose existing drugs within 90 days or developed therapies within 180 days. And they talk about rapidly respond to outbreaks when they occur, recover from pandemic and biological incidents. Now, I share these things because so often we just find what's looping on our regular news sources, media outlets. But when I start digging into all that the administrations are doing, the Biden administration to be in particular with what we're doing here at NewsInMotion, is that I'm finding like, okay, we hear about all these fights and all of this separation, but y'all, there's been a lot of bipartisan passing of bills that you never ever hear. And so I want to be that news outlet, part of where we're headed going into 2023. I want to be that news outlet that's giving you this other stuff too. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. Dr. Antoinette says, imagine that a plan, not just sound bites. A plan, you're right. So now I'm going to give you this. And I hope I'm not boring you. And here's the thing. If you're bored by this, we need to dig deeper and ask why, because these are things we need to know. Now, y'all, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bipartisan bills that were passed just this week. But we don't hear about these. Y'all, bill number, this is from the Senate. Bill 169, the Artistic Recognition for Talented Students Act. Now, you may say, oh, that's nothing. Hold on, I'm not done, because it is something. It will require the Register of Copyrights to waive application fee for the registration of a copyright claim for winners of certain student competitions, including those in the Black and Brown community. So they waived those fees, and those fees could be at times as high as $1,000, $2,000. Y'all, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And then they go on to say who the senators who help with that. Senator Tillis, and Lethe, Representative Jeffries and Mace, and many others for their leadership. I was like, why don't we hear more of this on the media? I got another one. Bill 442. Now, this again, you may say, oh, Gail, that's nothing. Hold on, let me read it to you. The Bulb Replacement Improving Government with High Efficiency Technology Act, which requires a GSA to procure the most life cycle cost effective and energy efficient lighting projects. Now, y'all, people who suffer migraines, these bulbs will make a difference. People who have visual impairment, these bulbs will make a difference. So it says, thank you to Senators Peters and Johnson's, Representative Titus, and others for their leadership. They're naming the people in this bipartisan piece. They have other ones, Advanced in Air Mobility Coordination and Leadership Act. Y'all, they're talking about coordinating the air, okay? Meaning like planes and whatever else that's up there. Here's the bill number 958, maximizing outcomes through better investments in life-saving equipment for Mobile Healthcare Act. Who knew? Y'all, this allows community centers to use new access point grants to establish mobile health clinics for where? The marginalized and poor communities. Who wouldn't want this? And it says, thank you to Senator Rosen and Collins, that's Susan Collins, Representative Susie Lee, Hudson Rutz, Butler, and others for their leadership. Bipartisanship, y'all. Another one, Solid Start Act. Another one, Blackwell School National Historic Site Act. Another one, Artificial Intelligence Training for the Acquisition Workforce Act. Yeah, and this is Senator Peters and Portman, that bipartisan. They approved this. They signed this. They got this passed. And it's good to know they're not just sitting there bickering. Y'all, there's so much that they're doing together. Bill 2771, which designates a facility of the United States Postal Service. Listen to that, y'all. And they're talking about, they thought, get this, Ted Cruz helped pass this bill. Who would have known this? And I'm sitting there going, why don't y'all want this information to be put out there? Why wouldn't you want this information to be known across the board? Who wouldn't want this? Ted Cruz signs that, helped pass that, and that's with the U.S. Postal Service. That's a big deal. Then we have Bridging the Gap of New American Act, which requires a study on factors affecting employment opportunities in the U.S. for immigrants and refugees with professional credentials attained in other countries. Now, y'all not going to believe who's on this list of signing this. And I'm thinking, so you're in the media saying you're not in agreement and you want to cut down or all of this when it comes to immigration and refugees. Well, let's talk about who did it. Klobuchar, Korn, Coons, Murkowski, Collins, Crow, Fitzpatrick. What? Why are y'all out here saying something different? You just passed this bill. Yeah, these are the questions, again, town hall meetings we can ask. Senate Bill 3470, the Inhuman Trafficking in Government Contracts Act of 2022. This is huge. This requires federal agencies to refer contractors engaged in human trafficking to the agency suspension and debarment officially. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, and Portman's on a lot of these. I know he's on his way out, but still, it was just very interesting to hear this. Let me see what some of you are saying. Deborah Johnson says this is good news. This is good news in motion. Marion says news in motion, give the good, the bad, and the ugly news. News in motion, give us all not part of the news. MK Walker, these things are hidden to make us think it is warfare all day long. I agree with you. Marion Jackson says we need a bipartisan vote to pass voting rights. I'm gonna get there. Hold on one second, Marion. Let me first get to the last announcement from the White House, and I mentioned this just briefly yesterday. This is a fact sheet that came out yesterday. Cheaper hearing aids now in stores thanks to this Biden-Harris administration. And here's the agenda. This already started as of October the 17th. Walgreens is selling hearing aids at stores nationwide online for $799 per pair. According to Walgreens, comparable models sold by specialists range from $2,000 to $800 a pair. Did y'all have any idea that hearing aids that can go up to $8,000? Well, now they're capped at $799 at Walgreens. First of all, I still think $799 is a lot. I had no idea people were paying close to $8,000 for hearing aids. Starting on October 17th, so it was this past, I think that was Monday, CVS has started selling over-the-counter hearing aids on CVS.com with varying options on model and price point. CVS will also offer hearing aids in select CVS pharmacy locations beginning November. Starting October 17th, it was Monday, Walmart will offer assortment of over-the-counter hearing aids on Walmart.com, SamsClub.com, and over 1,000 vision centers and Walmart stores across Colorado, Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Texas, as well as 474 Sam's Club hearing aid center locations. Available products will range from the price of $199 to $999 a pair. They will cap theirs at Walmart at $999. I had no idea hearing aids cost this much. And then starting this week, Best Buy will offer nearly 20 different hearing devices online. By the end of October, it will offer hearing aids in nearly 300 stores across the country. Now they're doing the higher price point, so their devices will range from $200 to $3,000, less than the $5,500 per pair. That's what they're basing theirs on. And then starting this week at Hy-Vee, they will sell over-the-counter hearing aids online and in 34 locations across Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. Hy-Vee plans to offer hearing aids in 100 locations by the end of the year. Hy-Vee will offer 4 models ranging from $499 to $999. So that's a recap of what's happening. If you know anyone who's tuning in, have them check out News in Motion. We will try to type up some of this and put it out there for you as well. Now, going back to what Marion just said. Yeah, Marion, I'm in agreement with you. Going back to what Marion just said about voting rights. As we know, President Biden announced yesterday, and they're trying to secure the House and the Senate. And he announced yesterday that for Democrats to have both the House and the Senate, the first bill that he would sign, that he would take and sign, would be to codify Roe v. Wade. Okay. But Mr. President, shouldn't that first bill be voting rights? And I'm going to get more into this on next Tuesday when I talk about the Democrats' commitment to America. I felt a certain kind of way when I saw that unveiled yesterday, his talking points on that yesterday, because we have been expecting voting rights for a very long time. The bills failed in the Senate both times, the John Lewis Act, Voting Rights Act. So should that not be the first bill? Because it is proven, again, I'll get into this more on Tuesday when I talk about the Democrats, what's on the ballot. We talked about this week, yesterday, the GOP. Tuesday is going to be the Democrats. It has been proven that Black women got you in the office. So why wouldn't you first start with that? You can do two bills at once, but why not start there first? So I do want to just put that out there. Love what it is that you're doing, but let's not forget about the work that we are doing and the importance of voting rights. I would love to hear y'all's comments in the chat as I go to the inspirational message. Kim Edmondson's talking about the hearing aid. She says, I knew because my dad needs one and he didn't want to pay the huge price. Maybe now he'll get one. Jacqueline says, yes, I knew hearing aids were very expensive. I had no idea. $8,000? Had no idea. Sardinia said, NewsInMotion is the best. Love it, love it, love it. Love you too. Thank you. So that's the information. I would love to know what you're thinking there. So to continue with the inspirational message, Kim Edmondson said, let's not forget, Mr. President. I'm with you. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. And I know you're trying to get points and votes. I get it. But let's not forget. Let's not forget. So, y'all, the inspirational message, and then we're out of here. Keep holding on. Yesterday, I talked about hold on. Help us on the way. I want to say keep holding on. Yeah, I want to look at Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 6 real quick. In the New International Version, and those of you who are tuning in from Twitter, we in every segment of NewsInMotion with the inspirational message, and many times it does come from a biblical verse of scripture because we are Christian. Not the news itself, but who I am, and I bring that to you. So it says, nevertheless, I will bring health and healing to it. I will heal my people and will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. I want to read that again. Nevertheless, I will bring health and healing to it. I will heal my people and will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. I love that. And when I read that, I'm thinking about these elections and everything that's going on and inflation, just everything all together. People want to eat and they're seeing milk and eggs with a crazy price point behind it. Gas appears to be going back up. It is going back up. There's a lot that's going on. There's that division that we hear about regularly that is exhausting on so many media outlets. So I just want to say, nevertheless, I will bring health and healing to it. I will bring health. I will bring well health. He's not going to bring us bad health. Health and healing to it. I will heal my people. Y'all, this is a promise. I will heal my people and will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. I don't want y'all to miss this. Let them enjoy. That means we get to enjoy this, y'all. We get to enjoy abundant. It doesn't just say peace and security. And I went through several different translations just to see what it was saying. And it's all about abundance. And we'll let them enjoy. We'll let them. He's going to give us the opportunity to enjoy. Not just, all right, here's some peace. Enjoy it. Peace and security. Peace and security. Y'all, that's good news. That's good news. And in the midst of all this chaos, God is going to heal us. He's going to bring healing and health to it. And then on top of healing and health, he's going to let us enjoy the abundance of peace and security. The abundance of peace and security. The abundance of peace and security. Here's my question for you today. How's your peace? How's your security? And if you're vulnerable, put in the chat. How's your peace? What's your peace level right now? If there was 1 being low and 10 being high, how would you rate yourself with peace? Would it be down by the 1 or will it be up by the high? Same thing with security. Down by the 1, you have low security, or up to 10. Let's be vulnerable and just put that in the chat if you're willing to do that. Your peace and your security. MK Walker said, abundance, peace, and security. God will give us his peace. Yeah, his perfect peace for sure. Robert says, hold on to the hand of God. Lori says, abundant peace and security is all I need to know. Kim Edmondson said a 7. Thank you. Yes, Latrice, nevertheless, that's a whole word right there. John Gore says 8 and 9. Okay, first things first, right? John, first things first. So 8 and 9. Okay. Okay. So 8, I'm assuming you're saying 8, the peace, and 9, the security. Anybody else want to be vulnerable and share? Anybody else? Kenny says 8. Shardinia says 9. Okay, y'all, thank y'all for participating. Anybody else? I love these high numbers. I love these high numbers. If I would rate myself right now, peace, I would say around 8, 9. Security, I would say 8 or 9 as well. So I will be around there. Bergie from YouTube is saying 5. Okay. Patricia Lyles is saying 8. Okay. All right. MK Walker, as a 3-year window, I will honestly say I have risen to a 5. Thank you for your honesty and your vulnerability and sharing that. Barbara Kirby, good morning from Oberlin. She says an 8. Judy Neal, good morning to you too as well. She says an 8 as well. So y'all, I put that out there because when I read this, and if you get an opportunity, go and read the entire chapter of Jeremiah 33. Seriously, even if for those of you who you have a different religion or maybe you have no religion at all, I would still, I'm asking you to Google this. I'm not putting anything on you. Just Google this and read the words to see where they're talking about seeking and being still and quietness. I believe you can get something out of it regardless of where you stand. I really do. To answer an email, we're going to start answering emails as well. To answer an email, this email came through on yesterday. As you're still putting your numbers in there, that's fine. And we'll be wrapping up, I promise y'all, in less than 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. I received an email. And the email said, wow, I've watched you struggle with your hair for about a year now with the thinning and everything. Since you've gone curly, your confidence seemed to have increased. You seem to be having fun. By the way, your hair is the bomb.com. What is it that you're doing? And will you go back to, excuse me, will you go back to blow drying and flat ironing it? Well, thank you first for your email. That came from Yvonne. All I see on here is Yvonne. Thank you for your email. Number one, first I want to just say thank you for that. I love the curly hair. It is something when you make the decision, for me, it's something when you make the decision to just say, you know what, I'm going this way. It was time. I've had this hair since I was born, and I've never leaned towards my curly hair. You may see me wear it curly every now and then, but it wasn't my fave. I'd rather blow it out and flat iron it or whatever. I love it. I love it. It's been a week. Today marks a week. So now I have to do it myself. And I'm like, what am I doing? So I'm a little apprehensive of like, where do I go from there? Can I pull it off the way Destiny pulled it off? What is that going to look like? But I love it. I absolutely love it. It's interesting. My family members say, you are loving that curly hair. I have close friends who are like, you are loving that curly hair. I think you just have to get there. Now, I'm not to the gray yet. Not to the gray. I was telling my very close friend, she was like, girl, just, I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. But I'm loving the curly. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Confidence. I will say that because I'm not like, oh my gosh, can anybody see my thin hair? Do they see the part or anything? I'm no longer thinking about any of that. So that I believe that's where the confidence is coming from. I think once you fall in love with you and you are feeling great about yourself, and there was a moment there's like, I'm not feeling it with the hair, and then I'm also losing weight. I'm also losing weight thanks to John Gore. I'm also losing weight, and when I say thanks to John Gore is a try this, try that, eat this, don't eat that. You got to do this. You got to make sure you get, I was saying 30 minutes of exercise, and John Gore was like 45. And then all of a sudden the next conversation was, you got to get 60 minutes. And I'm like, but we didn't increase 30 whole minutes more. But just doing all that together, I think makes a difference. Drinking the water, y'all people, with my whole hair, when I'd gone to the dermatologist, y'all know I have a condition called lithomatoid populosis. I can't spell it. Just Google it if you can sound it out. And from that, it was causing some of that as well. But the increase in vitamin D in the water and the increase in protein also helped. But the hair, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So thank you. And those of you who want to send an email, you can do that by sending it to newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Let me see what y'all are saying. Jacqueline says, I love the new hairstyle. It looks good on you. I'm loving it too. And I don't have to do anything to it. It's like just run your hands through it. The kind of hair I have, and to help with the thinning, they were telling me the brush and a comb actually separates. But if you just take your natural, everything you use naturally. And then the other thing, now here's where I will share with you all that I sometimes still struggle. Because I would blow it out and flat iron it, everything was like perfect. At least I thought it was perfect. But I was taught last week through Destiny, you got to let your curls go where your curls want to go. You got to let them free fall. So stop trying to push them somewhere or do something with them, because they're their own curl. If you remember, I told y'all she cut each curl. She didn't like pull the hair down and cut across. She cut each curl pattern. And so I have to be free with that. And that's probably the most difficult, because I still want to try to condense. And it's like, no, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. She says, don't touch it. Stop doing that. So that's the part that I think I have to deal with. All right, y'all. Enough about me. Let's get up out of here. Y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, before I do that, Lexi will be with us from the high school tomorrow. Y'all know Red Cup Action. Her teacher's going to be viewing this as well. She's our News in Motion ambassador with the high school. So she'll be coming on, giving us a report. I don't know how long she'll be on. She'll be a part of her classroom. So let's show her some love. She'll be doing that on Thursdays. And y'all do me a favor. When y'all come in tomorrow, it's Isaiah's birthday. So when y'all come in tomorrow, make sure y'all give a shout out to Isaiah. I think he said it'll be 20 or 21, but give a shout out to Isaiah tomorrow when you come in here. And be prepared, because I'm going to ask him to put his Cash App up here so we can bless him. So come prepared, y'all. Blessing can be $5. We want to give some love to Isaiah. So y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.